Hi, everybody. Duc Vuong here, world famous bariatric surgeon. This is my driver podcast, DRV driver. Get it? Driver. I don't know. I'm working on it. I don't know. Maybe it's good. Give me some ideas. So what we're doing is edutainment. We're going to educate you about your health, happiness, your dreams and goals, coronavirus in this case. But we're going to do it in an entertaining way with my special celebrity guest. Today, we've got Mr. Anson Williams, who's known best as Potsie Weber from the amazing, iconic TV show Happy Days, which aired from 1974 to 1984. And since then, he's moved on to become a really famous director as well as an entrepreneur. He's gone on to direct TV shows such as Melrose Place from 1992 to 1999, Beverly Hills 90210, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Lizzie McGuire, The Secret Life of an American Teenager, as well as Seventh Heaven. Come on now. He's been doing a lot, including Star Trek, Sequest, Xena, Star Trek Voyager, my gosh, Charmed, Seventh Heaven. And he's brought on, I think, 20 products or so onto QVC, onto the stage to help people with his amazing inventions. So give it up for my good friend, Mr. Anson Williams! Yay!
You wake up the world, Dr. V. I'll
tell you. You haven't changed. Look at you. You look amazing.
Thanks. Not bad for isolation.
Man, you look great. Dude, look at me. You look much better than me. So everybody knows you from Happy Days, loved your character. Tell us about what was it like to be on the show back then? I mean, was it? I like to think of it as like a much more innocent time and sincere time. What was it like growing up during Happy Days?
Well, it's interesting. You know, show business has always been a challenge, but honestly, having been fortunate enough to last a few years, it was much simpler back then. It was much more tactile. And Happy Days became kind of a phenomenon. And our average audience was about 50-some million people an episode. So basically a fourth of the country every Tuesday night, and then not including syndication and everything else. But we had a boss by the name of Gary Marshall who created the show. Yeah, who cared about us and cared about us more than just being actors. He inspired us to take advantage of what we had at a Paramount lot and learn so many other areas of the entertainment business. He said, don't let ego get involved. You know, you need to wear many hats to survive in this business. So he opened up the studio like a college. I was interested in directing and producing and writing. I was able to shadow Roman Polanski doing Chinatown on the back lot. I was able to shadow Schlesinger directing Day of the Locust. I was able to watch all the Grease movie that we shot on the lot. Ron Howard and I did projects together. I was able to watch Ron. So it was just a continuing education, and none of us got big for our britches. We all took it seriously. We all took advantage of what we could learn, and I think that's why today all of us are still involved in the business. We still have
that Ron Howard guy. He did all right for himself, huh?
Well, he did okay.
He did all right.
You know, a couple of Academy Awards, big deal, right? You know, I got to know
he had it in him. You know? Now he has I think he has his master class now, right? Like he's teaching directing or something on master class.
He does. He's and master classes. What a great that's a great business. I mean, the best in the world teaching, their expertise.
And it's so cheap. I mean, it's really affordable.
Yeah, I think now they have. Here I am promoting it. I have nothing to do with it. But I love it. Actually, now they're doing 2 for 1.
Yeah.
So it's usually $180 a year. Now you get 2 for $180 a year.
Wow.
And 80 of the world's experts in their field.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I know.
So Happy Days. What's your favorite story behind the scenes for Happy Days?
Oh, what's very interesting, the favorite stories weren't on the show. They were off the show. Let me explain. Sure. Gary Marshall was a sports fanatic, and he loved softball. He also thought it was important to put together a softball team because it would help us. It would help our relationship on the set. You know, you always back your team member. So all of us were ex-jocks, and we put together a softball team. And we played in every major stadium in the United States, a charity pregame. Like we go to, Yankee Stadium and play and play the media of New York, or we go to Miami and play, and play the professional football team in a pregame at one of the baseball games. What was amazing, we did USO tours. We toured all over the world playing softball against the Marines, the Navy, the Air Force, Army, all over the world. Okinawa, Germany, all over the world. Those are the experiences that we'll remember. It's so memorable and so special and so unique.
Do you guys still stay in touch? Do you still stay in touch with like Marion Ross and Henry Winkler and all of them?
Oh yeah, Marion, we're still very close. Marion, in fact, I still owe her a birthday lunch, so I have to, the virus kind of stopped things. So and then Henry, we talked to quite a bit. Don is my best friend, Don Most. He's very close to me. And Ron, we're always a phone call or text away. We've been all of us have been very tight for 4 decades.
Yeah, so you and Don Most were like best friends, sidekicks together on the show. Was that a real life friendship then?
It was a friendship, but through the years, it's gotten closer. Actually, we've gotten much closer after the show ended.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and I was, been very fortunate just to have Don as a friend, and we've had a lot of fun together because I've directed him a few times on network shows, and we have a new pilot called Harvest Time that people can see on YouTube. If they go to Harvest Time and put Anson Williams or Don Most in, it'll go to this cute pilot we did.
Wow.
Kind of dark, kind of different. But we thought it'd be a good time to put it up, entertain people during this time of isolation.
What's Harvest Time about?
Good question. Basically, it was a one-act play written by a New York award-winning New York playwright by the name of Fred Straupel, and we took it and adapted it to a half-hour pilot special. And the challenge was, will people accept Don and I as other characters? Same chemistry, but will they accept us as different characters? Can we make that work? Quite a challenge. Two iconic actors being accepted in totally different roles. So Harvest Time, it's incredibly dark but funny. It's TV-14 because of language, but it's not gratuitous. It's part of the characters. It's surprising, and basically, Harvest Time is based on when you need your transplant of a kidney. It's time to harvest.
Oh, trust me, I've harvested.
Exactly, and I'm Don's older brother, and I don't realize that I've been demeaning and degrading to him all his life. Wow. And Don has kept this inside him, this anger, in a funny way. But I'm on a dialysis chair at home because I'm going to die if I don't get a new kidney. Okay. So my younger brother graciously donates his kidney to save my life. However, there's a knock at the door, and he comes. Look, I'm shaking. And he comes in and he tells me that he got a better offer and he sold his kidney on eBay. Oh no! And there's the show. That's where it takes off from. So you can imagine how that's so funny. It's funny, poignant, emotional, and purposeful. So if people go to YouTube, put in Harvest Time and Don Most or my name, they will love it. And if we get enough likes, it actually could be a short-term series.
That's awesome. Yeah. So the short-lived spinoff, Joni Loves Chachi. Whatever happened to them? Whatever happened to Joni? Is she around?
Aaron? To who? Joni?
Yeah.
She passed away about 3 years ago.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, she had cancer. And, and passed.
Gosh, that's so unfortunate, and it's So relevant though at the same time about what we're talking about today, which is your overall health and happiness and all the things that's happening with coronavirus and today's the time today. So I wanted to ask you the story about how Robin Williams made his debut, Mork from Ork, and I guess it was an interest in what was happening with Star Wars at the time and how it was really a hot movie. And so they said, hey, let's bring an alien on Happy Days.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
no,
kind of a
story.
crazy idea.
Yeah,
kind of a crazy idea, right?
Yeah.
What happened was this: if you talk about divine intervention, literally. Scotty Marshall, who's Gary's son, was 10 years old at the time. They came out of Star Wars, and Scotty asked his dad to do a spaceman segment of Happy Days.
Yeah.
So Gary thought, why not? Well, we'll make it a dream. So what happens in terms of the Happy Days process, on Mondays, we would get 2 scripts. One script was the following week's script. So we'd read it and the writers would have a chance to rewrite. And the other was the script we were gonna film that week. So it's a Monday and we're getting the script for the next week and it's Mork from Ork. It is such a piece of crap. It is the worst script you've ever read in your life. Unreadable. And Henry Winkler, who's like the kindest, most gracious, calm guy in the world, threw it against the wall. You gotta be kidding me. And Gary, we're all kind of up in arms. It was like unreadable. Gary said, don't worry, we'll fix it. We got a week, we'll fix it. So
that's your Gary Marshall impersonation.
I got Gary, yeah, I know you got, I'm hungry for food. But anyway, so he said, we'll fix it. So we do the show that week, come back the next Monday, read the following week's script, fine. Read the current week's script, Mork from Ork. It's worse. It stinks. It's unreadable. We don't even know what to say, but we're stuck with it. Okay, so we go to rehearsal. Of course, now they wasn't the actor's fault, but they cast this tall, geeky guy as Mork. And we rehearsed Monday. We rehearsed Tuesday. We rehearsed Wednesday. Now, at the end of the day, Wednesday, this guest star said, I quit.
Who was it?
I'm not putting myself on film as this character. My career will be over. He quits Wednesday night. He quits Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Now, just to show you how close we are to shooting this thing, Thursday is camera blocking day. No rewriting, it's mechanics. Get all the cameras ready to shoot the show. At the end of Thursday, we do a quick run through. The writers have a few notes. Friday, we come in at 12:30. We do a full run through in front of an audience without film.
Yeah.
And we're doing it. It's no more, we're doing it. Then we have dinner and we shoot the show. It's Wednesday night. The rehearsal week's over. So the guy quits. Gary Marshall comes down to the set, looks around. Does anybody know a funny Martian? So Al Molinaro, who played Al, said, well, there's this kid in my Harvey Lembeck improv class, which was big at the time. His name's Robin Williams. And then
unknown at that time, right?
Gary's sister, Ronnie Hallen, who was in casting, said, yeah, I heard of him. He was on the new Laugh-In, the 6 episodes that failed. Yeah, I think he's pretty funny. Bring him in. So now it's Thursday. Okay. Thursday, I come in a little later because I'm not in the first few scenes, and they're camera blocking.
Yeah.
There's never a writer on the set, nothing. Just mechanics. I get there. I open the door. I get on stage. You could hear a pin drop. Every writer is on stage like this. Jerry Pearce, our director, runs over to me. He's a genius. He's a genius. He's a genius. What? There is Robin Williams improving the entire show.
The entire
Nanu, up on this thing, improving the entire show. The writers are just writing everything down. I mean, so there we are. By Friday night, it went from the worst script in the history of Happy Days to the best show in the history of Happy Days. And that Friday night, This kid blew everyone out. No, 300 people in the audience on their feet, screaming, cheering.
Wow.
And we thought to ourselves, it's just a few weeks away till
Wow.
Robin Williams is going to be one of the most famous performers in the world, because that's when it would air. And after the show, Gary had an idea. Fred Silverman had come over to ABC. Gary had an idea to use Pam Dawber and Robin Williams.
Yeah.
And he did an old pilot. He put together some film from Pam Dawber from some pilot he did with her. And he put some of the film together of the current show. And he sold 13 episodes of Mork and Mindy over the phone to Fred Silverman.
That's crazy.
And the rest is history. Could you imagine? Robin Williams was so unique. There's no way you could cast him in anything. He had to create his own world. Then you wrote it.
He had to be Martin.
So he was so lucky in getting a part that was all him, all that he could be 100%. He didn't have to be anything other than as large as he is, and as large as he was. And that's it. Mork and Mindy, total fluke, total accident, divine intervention.
And people forget you guys were given a lot of liberty. So for example, like you guys had the whole band, right? At Arnold's that would play at Arnold's, and you were the lead singer, and you ended up getting a record deal and everything.
Well, this is a good life lesson. In life, I've learned don't be a person who sees what you don't have. Be a person that sees what you have. Too many people find the negatives, not the positives. And that's not a cliche. It's true. Mm-hmm. It's true. There's opportunity right in front of you if you're open for it. So we weren't paid back in those days like actors today. Nowhere near that kind of money. And I'm thinking, how can I do better? What can I do? And I did sing. I sang in nightclubs, and I had sung, in musical theater and all that. And David Cassidy did so well off Partridge Family. And I read interviews with him how he did better off the show than on the show. Right. And the Brady Bunch, they were in their last year when we first started Happy Days, and they were doing better singing all over the world. They had the singing group. Yeah. And I thought to myself, if I convinced Gary Marshall to put a band on the show and I could sing, maybe I could get a record contract, and maybe I can book myself in concerts and make some damn money. Take advantage of this. So one morning I found Gary. Not exaggerating. I found Gary. Gary, do you have time to talk? No, I don't have time. Later. I said, only take a minute. He says, you got a minute. You got 1 minute. Walk with me. I'm walking with Gary. And I did the elevator pitch. Gary, you got girls on the show. You got cars on the show. We need a band. You need music at Arnold's. And he stops. A band? He goes, what you play? I go, I sing. You sing. Are you good? I go, not bad. He goes, a band. Richie could have sax. Ralph, I like it. Let's try this out. I can fit it in a fraternity episode coming up. Go talk to Bobby, pick a song. So finally, I had my first responsibility outside of acting. I got to so. Then I'm walking away, and I hear in the distance, but you're singing to a bulldog. I go, excuse me? You're singing to a bulldog. He goes, I believe you're good. I don't have time to listen, but if you're good, I get laughs. If you're bad, I get laughs. Just like Elvis on Ed Sullivan. You're going to sing to a bulldog. So there I am. Well, bless my soul, what's wrong with me? To a bulldog. And I go, but he liked it. I started singing on every third episode. Yeah. I was able to pick the music I wanted to do. I got a record contract with the same label David Cassidy was on, Chelsea Records. I was making $1,200 a week on Happy Days. Yeah. Oh, an episode. That's it. I was making $17,000 a night in concert.
Wow.
All from seeing opportunity, what was there. And thanks to Gary Marshall believing in me.
That's a great.
That's how all that happened.
That's a great life lesson.
But it was a great life lesson. Yeah. I've followed ever since. Find the opportunity.
So a lot of people think that playing such an iconic character like Potsie is kind of a double-edged sword where you can get typecasted. Do you think of it as a downside, or do you feel like it's a blessing, or how do you see your time there?
It was more than a blessing. It was like going for two PhDs in entertainment. Only because I love doing comedy and I love playing that part. But you have to know when it's too wide a river. You have to know your limitations in life. And I knew acting wasn't going to be my end calling. So for me, there was no typing. I didn't care. I just wanted to do a great job on the show, and I wanted to learn as much as I could behind the camera. My love was behind the camera. So it was 100% good for me because, you know, literally the show ended in 1984. In 1980, I had written, exec produced a movie of the week that Ron Howard exec produced with me and directed called Skyward, starring Bette Davis for NBC. So I had already been writing and producing during Happy Days. By the time Happy Days was over in 84, I had already secured a behind the camera career. And in 85, I started directing. So
how did that work? How did you roll that into, you know, directing Melrose Place and Beverly Hills 90210, which are some like huge hits? How did you do that?
Again, no one gave me the opportunity. It was again seeing what you had and making it work. I couldn't get hired, so again, I was a writer and producer. I had an after-school special in development at ABC, and I convinced them to let me hire myself. It was called No Greater Gift, so I had to hire myself as my first directing job. The second one was for a PBS film called The Lone Star Kid, starring James Earl Jones. True story about the youngest mayor in the history of the United States, 12 years old. It was a microcosm for Washington. It was a film about For the People. But again, I co-wrote the script and exec produced, and I had to hire myself. So I made an opportunity. After that, I was discovered and started getting hired by other people. So, yeah. And since that time, I've been incredibly fortunate. I've mostly been in television. I did do a film I was very proud of with Christopher Walken for HBO called All American Murder. But in television, I've been fortunate in being able to direct so many different genres, you know, from sitcom to LA Law, to Secret Life of American Teenager, to Hercules, to Xena, to Star Trek Voyager, to Deep Space Nine, to Clueless, to Melrose Place, Charm. It's just been, I've been very, very fortunate. But again, everybody out there can do it. Everybody out there, you can do what you want to do if you find the opportunity and don't think about it and move ahead. And there are no mistakes. Your mistakes are challenges. Your mistakes make you successful. You need to make mistakes.
I love that. You need to make mistakes. So it's like the whole fail forward.
You bet.
And so I'd like to, that's a good segue into what we want to talk about, your entrepreneurialism.
Yes.
Tell us about that. You've put a lot of products on QVC and sold a lot of stuff. What are some other products that we would have heard about?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. There's Cool Flash, which is a clinically proven topical gel that brings down the skin temperature here and here, and the reflex react, and this is all clinically proven, by the way. And this brings down body temperature, which releases hot flash.
Wow.
So yeah, so we it's a major product called Cool Flash for the hot flash. We had another one called Dry Hands, which was a natural product that keeps your hands perfectly dry without powder and all that stuff. So many beauty products we've had, and then we have right now we have the most important product, probably the most important anything I've been associated with. It's that important.
What's that? What's the product?
It's called Well, let me just give you the backstory. Should I give you the backstory of Dr. Heimlich first?
Yeah. So you're related to the very famous Dr. Heimlich, is in the Heimlich maneuver.
Yes, and many people don't realize this, but Happy Days was a major reason for the Heimlich maneuver becoming part of Americana, actually part of the world in saving lives. Dr. Heimlich at the time, in the early 70s or mid 70s, was having a hard time promoting the Heimlich maneuver because of political conflict with the Red Cross.
Really?
And they refused the back. Yeah, they want to do the back slap and all that. but it's a whole thing. But anyway, he was having a difficult time and really was upset because it saved lives. So he was visiting me on the Happy Days set one day, and the phone rang on the set, and it was the Merv Griffin show. And I had done it a few times before, and someone had dropped out for that night's taping. And they asked if I was available to do a song, do an interview. I thought, great, yeah. And I went to Dr. Heimlich, and I said, maybe I can talk to Merv. Maybe we can get the Heimlich maneuver on TV. Naively. And he, sure. I said, it's worth a shot, you know. I was so, you know, you're brilliant because you're ignorant.
Yeah.
I didn't get in the way of myself. Going,
right.
Stupid idiot. They're not going to listen to you. What are you, crazy? I'm thinking, yeah, we can do this. So we go down. I finished rehearsal. We go down. We're at the theater there on Vine Street. And no Merv. I rehearsed the song. No Merv. Well, he's busy. He's in meetings. So, okay, the show starts. I'm not the first out either. So I'm thinking, well, we tried. And they put Dr. Heimlich, you know, in the audience. And okay, so I'm waiting in the green room for my turn. So my turn comes. I sing my song. And then, you know, then there's a commercial break and you walk over to.
Oh.
This just, hello?
I got you. You're back.
Hello?
You're
Doctor?
back. Yep.
Doctor. Hi. Are we there? Are we back?
You're back.
Are we back?
Yep.
I can't. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can't hear you. Oh, hang on.
I can hear you. You're good.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
As I can't hear you.
Gosh. You can't hear me? I can hear you good.
Anyway, since you can hear me.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, so I go over there. I sit next to Merv, and I'm able to like give him a 60-second pitch on Dr. Heimlich's in the audience, the Heimlich maneuver. He had happened to have heard about it somehow. But he says nothing. Show comes back on the air. He immediately introduces Dr. Heimlich in the audience, brings him up on stage, and does the Heimlich maneuver on Merv. And people's lives are saved. It blows out. 3 weeks later, he's on the Johnny Carson show, and the rest is history. But it wasn't Happy Days. It wasn't on the Happy Days set that day. Who knows if it would have ever happened? So Happy Days had a big reason for the takeoff of the Heimlich maneuver.
And what's your new product?
I can't hear you. I'm gonna have to read your lips because I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Oh yeah. What do I do?
I don't know. Everybody says they can hear me.
Well, you know, this is good. I'm gonna pretend I'm hearing what you're saying.
Okay.
So in the meantime, I'm gonna keep talking. This is embarrassing. No. So anyway, so in fact, now it's just me.
I know. I moved it just in case. Can you hear me?
Now you're on. I hear you.
Can you hear me? Okay, good.
Hello? Yes.
Okay, good.
So could you hear everything else before?
Yeah, it was great.
Okay, good.
I'll edit it out.
I'm just improvising. I'm going. Have everybody look. You know, if you want to see a person very embarrassed, please share this, and you'll see a very embarrassed person here.
So tell us about.
I need some of this. I need some of this.
Yeah. Tell us about that new.
Woo! So anyway, Dr. Heimlich and I have been very close. He passed away a few years ago, but all the way very close. Anyway, decades ago, I had almost killed myself falling asleep at the wheel of a car. I fell asleep. Mm-hmm. And he explained to me that if I would just keep cut up lemons with me on exhausting days and bite into them, he told me it's very old science, but citric acid, sour lemon, when it hits the lingual nerve on top of your tongue, has a reflex reaction of adrenaline. You're up, nothing in your system. It's just like going to the doctors with the testing your reflexes. It's a reflex sensory connection of tongue and brain. Yep. So I did that for years. Whoop, never had a problem. Then I went into the product business, as you know, and I just saw how catastrophic drowsy driving is. More deaths, more tragedies than medicated and drunk driving combined. And I mean, in 2012, there were almost 170 million drowsy drivers. 1 out of 5 admitted to falling asleep. This is how bad it is. It's horrific. It's right under guns.
Well, yeah,
And
I can tell you as a resident, when I was like working long hours and stuff, boy, I fell asleep at the wheel all the time at red lights. I'd stop
yes,
going home shift all the time.
this would have stopped it. This would have stopped it. In fact, well, I'll get into it. But so we put it out there. We've helped so many people. We've been honored by the United States Congress, literally honored as helping society, the California State Senate, the city of LA. But more importantly now, it's expanded. We found there's exhaustion in America. It's now on every film set. Doctors, nurses, construction sites, students at school. They need to study all night. They're taking all this energy crap and they're overdosing of caffeine. They're ending up in the emergency room overdosing, and their sleep patterns screwed up. It's this merry-go-round of exhaustion. Alert Drops is stopping that safely and naturally. And now we're finding out that
called again?
Coronavirus is causing isolation fatigue. Because you know, in life we have our adrenaline's constantly going. You're meeting people, you're working, and your system's at a higher rate. All of a sudden, you're kind of like this, and it causes fatigue. And people at home are drinking too much coffee, energy crap, and they're really hurting their health. So we just donated to Northwell out of New York thousands of Alert Drops for 68,000 frontline healthcare workers who desperately need.
Can you hold it?
It's like it's
there. It is.
And all you do is this. And what this is so important, not only for driving, but for safety in every area, for your kids, for your husband, for your friends. It's literally a high-powered lemon. It's citric acid, sour lemon, water, a bit of preservative for shelf life. And all you do is this. Boom. And it's just an immediate
rush
reaction of adrenaline. That's the cause and effect. Your body, waking the body. It lasts about 30 minutes to an hour, depending on your system. And if you need it, hit yourself again. But it will keep you alert. It'll wake you up and keep you safe in a lot of areas. So I can't recommend Alert Drops enough. You go to alertdrops.com. That's alertdrops.com, and you get this in your house, and you give this to your kids, and you keep it on you. It's important. And Dr. Heimlich, before he passed, my last conversation was a few weeks before he passed. He promised that I'd get this out because he knew it would save more lives than the maneuver. He said more people are exhausted or drowsy driving than people choking. He said, you get this out. It's a life-saving product. Promise me. And I did. So this is in honor of Dr. Heimlich. I
got to slow you down because you skipped over it too fast. You donated Alert Drops to the health
Northwell Healthcare. A lot of companies are. To our frontline healthcare workers, 68,000 of them, to help them. I mean, they're exhausted. They're absolutely exhausted. They're heroes and heroines, and they're saving lives and selfless about their own. And the least we can do is get this little product out there. I know Dr. Heimlich would want that. Get it out there and help people.
I think that's so awesome that you created a product that's saving lives and that you're willing to donate it during this time, this pandemic. It's amazing. That's so much of a character.
Well, absolutely. No, well, Dr. Heimlich, look at his legacy. I can't. Would you rather be a movie star, a billionaire, or every day someone's life's being saved because you lived? His legacy is going on and on. He's living through saving lives every day. First was the Heimlich maneuver, then it was his knowledge of this. I didn't create this. He knew the science behind it. All this is a better scooter. Like I tell people.
I think you and I should work together so I can get into the hands of every resident in med school. Because I swear to goodness, we all talked about falling asleep driving home.
Well, this will save lives, and that Deadline, the online magazine called Deadline. It's like Variety for show business.
No, but yeah, okay.
Oh, if you're gonna be, you got to know this. Deadline is the go-to online paper for the entertainment business.
Okay.
And there was a front page story about exhaustion in the entertainment business and all the accidents. Overworked, out 17-hour days, and they're making people drive home, and they're having accidents on the set. And out of the blue, this award-winning journalist recommends Alert Drops in the article. Right in the article.
Deep Ferg just said he just ordered some.
Oh, great, very good. And now it's on numerous sets all over the world.
You know,
in fact, it's so funny on the Grey's Anatomy. You know, they work all night in the writers' room.
Mm-hmm.
They don't, usually there's a pencil dispenser, pencil thing with pencils in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's all it's all filled with alert drops as they have their all night writing sessions.
My very first dietitian, her husband was jogging one morning, and a nurse who was leaving the hospital after a night shift fell asleep at the wheel and hit him and killed him.
Oh,
and he was maybe 30 years old, ex-Marine, totally fit, buff. They had 2 young kids, and it was just could have been so easily avoided.
Well, that's the whole reason for alert drops. In this world, it's a crazy world now, and there's so many things we don't seem to have control of.
Yeah.
But we have control of this. Mm-hmm. We can easily help, and it's very old science, proven science, so simple. But that was Dr. Heimlich.
Yeah.
He always found simple solutions. He'd always go back. He said, "There's got to," and he always educated himself and then pay it forward. This is something.
So go back and mention how is this going to help people during coronavirus? You touched on it.
Yes. Well, people are getting, and you know better than anybody, isolation fatigue, because this sudden turnaround in your pattern. Usually, you go to work, you know, you got to make lunches for the kids or what. I mean, course of the day, all of a sudden, you're just everything stops. Everything slows down, and it creates an isolation fatigue, almost a depression. Awesome. It's an odd state of being.
Let me read you a couple of comments. Darlene Mittman says, "I ordered 3. My daughter is a respiratory therapist and working long hours for COVID-19 patients. She needs this." How awesome is that?
What?
I said, how awesome is that?
That's really
I'm definitely getting it. Yes. How much is it? Shirley wants to know, how much is it?
Okay, if it's one, it's $9.99. If it's 2, it's $14.99. It goes all the way up to 12, and it's half price. This here lasts a month.
Wow.
So it's less than 2 Starbucks coffees.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's very, very, very.
Because all you need is this. All you need is 2 max.
Wow.
Over 80 sprays.
Yeah, that's
really. And it's so good. And God bless Dr. Heimlich. So important. So important. So
I'm gonna take some viewer questions about for you. But okay. Are you while they're getting the questions ready? You ready to play some coronavirus quiz?
Sure. Let me embarrass myself. Yes. Yes.
Well, this will go. I'll try to ask you some questions that are related to what you're doing. So your alert drops. True or false? True or false? The coronavirus affects the sense of smell and taste.
True.
That is true. Isn't that weird?
It is. Well, yeah. I mean, it seems there's all sorts of odd things that happen with that virus. It's
very
kind
good.
of unpredictable.
Well, it does enter our airway in here, so it's easy to see how it could disrupt our olfactory bulb and stuff. But it's really weird that people, even after they have recovered from the virus, they still have deficits in smelling and taste. I think that's very unusual.
Ooh, that means it really did. Oh, it does the job then, man. That's terrible.
Yeah. All right, true or false? COVID patients often suffer from GI upset, stomach distress. True or false?
False.
It's actually true.
Oh, okay. Damn.
So not only is it
wait, I need a spray.
So not only is it a respiratory illness, for whatever reason, it's causing a lot of diarrhea and stomach upset in patients too.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and we are actually finding coronavirus samples in stool, in feces. So it's making its way somehow from our respiratory tract into our GI tract. And I think that's most likely it's translocation. By that I mean it's going across the cell membrane from the blood into the GI tract.
Oh my gosh.
Pretty weird. Pretty weird, right?
The whole virus is weird.
Yeah. True or false? The name coronavirus comes from the fact that it looks like it has a crown on it.
False.
That's actually true too. That's
oh God. It's like,
yeah, nice try. So corona. Yeah, the little spikes looks like a crown on top, like a jewel crown, and that's why it's called a coronavirus. It's not sponsored by Corona. The next
give me another one I'm going to get wrong.
You're doing good. You're doing good.
Yeah, yeah, great. One right. Uno.
Yeah.
I better wake myself up. All right.
True or false? The coronavirus is a DNA virus.
False.
That you're correct. It's an RNA virus. It's an RNA virus, not a DNA virus. Good job.
I knew that.
Yeah.
I knew that.
That's great. Let's take some questions. So yeah, we like to educate as well as entertain here. So what questions do you guys have for the amazing Anson Williams? Not only is he known as Potsie on Happy Days, but he's also directed some iconic shows such as Melrose Place, 90210, Xena, Princess Warrior, Star Trek, all sorts of stuff. He has his new project. What was your project called again? Harvest Time?
Harvest Time.
Harvest Time on YouTube. You guys look it up. Blow it up, because if I assume if they blow it up and you get a lot of views, it'll get picked up as a series, or how's that work?
We hope so. Yes, that would be nice. If they just go to Harvest Time and put my name in or Don Most name in on the search, it'll get right to it.
Okay. Here's a question from Mr. Chow. How did Anson earn the nickname Potsie? Where did the name Potsie come from?
That actually came from Gary Marshall's wife. There was a friend in high school. Yeah, God bless. There was a friend in high school that was nicknamed Potsie, and he liked the name. And now, this is how Gary is very specific in naming his characters. There's Richie, Ralphie, Potsie, Fonzie, how, you know, there's a method to it. So he liked the name. He used it.
Tim wants to know, what's your favorite show to direct? What was your favorite show that you directed?
Oh my gosh. You know, there's not one to direct, but the ones that I had the most fun on were the sci-fi.
Yeah.
Because it was so, I mean, the Star Treks and you know, the Deep Space Nines and the Hercules and the Xenas and the you know, all these others. They were very challenging.
Yeah.
Blue screen and all this kind of very, very detailed. So it's very challenging every show, but it was also fun because you can really go with your imagination more and just make these fantasies realities. It was a blast to be involved in those shows.
That's awesome. Sherry Ruben Close wants to know, Anson, are you still singing?
Well, bless my soul, what's wrong with me? I'm itching like a man on a fuzzy tree. My friends say I'm acting wild as a bug. I'm in love. I'm all sugar. Hey, yeah. Well, yeah, you know, I sing for you and in the shower. That's, you know, here and there. Once in a while I sing. Mostly I'm doing entrepreneurial things behind the camera. Here and there.
Yeah. Are you ever going to do like a concert tour?
In fact, Don Most and I, we do a lecture tour. We go to these big groups and we'll do like a lecture tour, and we show clips of Happy Days and talk about experiences and kind of combine all sorts of fun things. And then we'll sing a couple of songs. And then we did put together kind of a Happy Days live show.
Oh,
where it's kind of a Happy Days evening of entertainment. And we both sing and we both show clips. We've done it a few times. We did the Wisconsin State Fair, but yeah. So we were negotiating with Australia to do a big tour in Australia before the virus hit.
Gail wants to know, will there ever be a Happy Days reunion?
Well, there was a reunion 8 years ago, maybe on ABC. Whether there's another reunion, I don't know. However, there's a big many people don't realize there's a huge special that's going to be on May 15th on ABC called Gary Marshall's Happy Days. It's a 2-hour documentary on Gary Marshall. I mean, from Julia Roberts to all these major stars, Richard Gere, and then there's a whole 15-20-minute segment on Happy Days interviewing everyone. So that would be, it's kind of a reunion, all of us together. Yeah. But it's May 15th on ABC called Gary Marshall's Happy Days.
Yvonne wants to know your favorite actor or actress to work with.
My favorite actress was Heather Locklear.
Really?
Yeah, she was
big crush on her. I had a big crush on her.
Oh, not she is the greatest, the most professional, fun actress ever. She's the type of professional. She'd come up to you at the beginning of the day and say, you know, I'm in 10 pages today, and you have 10 pages to shoot. She goes, I'm going to be on the set, and I'm not going to go to my trailer, so we can get done faster because I want to get home as much as you do.
Wow.
And that's Heather, man. I mean, just a pro and on the money and so kind to everybody.
That's so awesome.
I literally, if a crew member was sick, didn't feel well, she would promise him chicken soup, and the next day there'd be chicken soup.
Wow.
Never forgot a promise. Love her. Yeah.
Oxy77 says she ordered 3 of your alert drops. And Kilo wants to know, is it difficult to get a product on QVC? And will you eventually sell alert drops on QVC?
We won't be selling alert drops on QVC. It's too, there's price points that need to work for QVC. So we won't. It is difficult to get, it's difficult to get a product on QVC, but it's doable. First of all, you got to make sure it's an approved product. Whatever the product is, you got to do your due diligence and make sure it fits all the rules it takes to bring a product to market.
Okay.
And then you need a QVC rep. You got to look up, find a QVC rep. These are people that make the appointments for you to go into QVC.
That's cool.
You can do it, but you just have to do your due diligence and and move forward with it.
New Jack wants to know, is Henry Winkler that confident in real life? Is the Fonz really that confident?
Henry's more like the character he plays on Barry.
Really?
The acting teacher. Henry's the most sensitive, caring, loving guy, soft-spoken, loving guy. He should have won the Emmy with Fonzie because that's 180, not him at all.
Wow.
180, not him at all.
Yeah.
He won the Emmy for a brilliant job on Barry, but that's closer to him. He's such a brilliant actor.
And I remember he said he passed up the role of Danny Zuko on Grease because he didn't want to be typecasted.
And he didn't sing. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know what's so funny? But people don't know this, but I saved John Travolta's career.
Really?
Would you like to know how?
How?
Okay. Oh, you do? Okay. There were 2 pilots for Happy Days. Okay, the first one didn't sell, but at the time, Grease was on Broadway and it was just starting to get popular. John Travolta played a character named Dewey, which is kind of a Potsie character, not Danny Zuko. In Grease. Well, casting director saw him. So the first pilot for Happy Days, he read for Potsie. And I saved his career because I got the part. So he owes me. Can you imagine if he'd have gotten that part, it'd have been over. But
he's kind of done all right for himself. He's done all right.
ABC loved him and put him on the list. And of course, they brought him in to audition for Welcome Back, Kotter.
Yeah.
And the rest is history.
Wes wants to know, what's your favorite episode of Happy Days? Was it the shark jump or something else?
Oh gosh, I think my favorite episode for me was the episode where I got to sing "Put Your Head on My Shoulder" to Joni.
Aww.
I mean, that hit a lot of hearts, and it was so much fun for me to do, and it was really and it really touched everyone who saw that show. It was a beautiful episode to be part of.
All right. Well, on that note, we'll end it on that. I'd like to, you've been so generous with your time. We've been talking for about an hour. The time has flown by. I've had so much fun with this interview. I'd love to have you back. I mean, I hope you'll come back with maybe Don next time and talk about your project. But one last time, can you show them the alert drops? Can you hold it up one more time?
Yes.
Because this is really saving lives.
Yes. It's alert drops. And literally, it's a high-powered lemon. It's hard-hit citric acid, sour lemon water, a bit of preservative, a little
spray
on your tongue, and the reflex reaction is adrenaline. Just like going to the doctor with the rubber mallet, it's just a reflex reaction, sensory connection to tongue and brain. You're up, you're alert, safely, nothing in your system, doesn't screw up your sleep pattern, and especially important during this isolation fatigue. It will help you get some clarity, kind of wake you up and put you in a better place.
Someone said earlier it would be great for like the truck drivers right now that are doing all the deliveries, and obviously the nursing staff and the hospital staff that are working late hours for COVID. It'd be totally amazing for residents and medical students and any students. It really would make a great gift.
It's very important, especially residency and all that. And again, frontline workers are using it because people are exhausted and they need to kind of wake up, but naturally and safely, not drinking all this caffeine or phony energy drinks, all that stuff that really hurts your health and can really screw up your sleep pattern. So and this is Dr. Heimlich's knowledge. We didn't invent this. It's just a better scooter. It's 50-year-old science.
Well, Anson, I mean, I'd love to take this time and honor you. Thank you so much. You're such an inspiration to millions of people. And it's so amazing to see how you've, progressed your life beyond Happy Days, how you became this really recognized director and entrepreneur, having so many products and changing lives, and donating so much of 68,000 units to charity. To help healthcare workers. That was amazing. Your heart shines through. I'm honored to call you a friend. And, you are just one of my favorite humans on the planet. It's so great to know you.
Oh, it's so great to know you too. And thank you so much for explaining this coronavirus to everyone in very, very clear, in a very clear way. And not only is it important information, it's very calming. And your inspiration to follow protocol and is very important.
Yes, and it's my promise to you. I'm gonna help you get that Alert Drops product out to all the medical community. I think we really need it. So let's circle back on that. I definitely want to do that for you.
Well, we're gonna. I would appreciate it. It's really important. Thank you so much, and we're gonna do that for sure.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Anson. Bye.